Hey house guests, welcome to another episode of Big Brother.
BB.
8. Okay.
We want to start it off by giving a shout out to
Shout out!
Live Feed Watcher. Keep watching.
That's right. And not just the live feeds. Watch us.
Okay. So they started the episode with
The HOH.
yes.
What else?
They continued the HOH competition.
And let me tell you, about 90% of this episode was the HOH competition.
Yeah, it just went on and on.
Oh, boring. Especially since I've seen a lot more of this on the live feeds. You know?
That was only after it was Jessica, Danielle,
Right.
Jen, and Kail.
Well, that
We
was
didn't
the
see
only
them.
interesting part.
Yeah.
You know?
So people were dropping like flies, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah. Then it was down to Danielle, Jen, Kail, and Jessica.
Jessica completely threw that. Okay, she was going strong. She was just like, oh, whatever.
Can you blame her? Do you think she wants anybody angry at her?
No. So she threw it. Good job, Jessica.
She knew that Danielle was going to pressure her to put up Kail and Jen because she had to do it for Nick. And, the other side of the house was going to pressure her to put up Dick and Danielle.
Yep.
The evil Dungeon and Dragon team.
Right. So, during the competition, all hell breaks loose.
Yes, it certainly does, let me tell you.
They show a shot of Danielle looking like a devil. She's hanging upside down. She looks up at a plane and she's like... she has like this look in her eyes like...
Yeah, she... they put the spin on this that she's doing it for Nick.
Mm-hmm.
But, honey, you voted Nick out. You know? How are you going to avenge yourself?
Alright, so the banner plane flies across the house during the HOH competition, and everyone's like,
I'm expecting it to say surrender Dorothy. But it
so
doesn't.
it says, we heart Nick, Amber and Eric are liars, LNC is the nerd herd.
Not that nerd herd. The one from 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
With
Maggie
Pepperoni the dog. And Cappy.
Goppy.
Yeah, Cappy. I don't want to make fun of her. We're not making fun of Spanish people, but come on.
Or lesbians.
Or lesbians, but she was just ridiculous.
Okay, so this banner has caused so much trouble. Amber and Eric are being accused of anything possible that
I
happens.
can't believe that these dunces would think, so what if I, hired enough money for a plane and said, like, Dick is a woman? Would everybody start believing it?
I know.
Well,
it's ridiculous.
Well, let's just get down right to it. Eric starts freaking out.
He's like, oh my gosh, I'm so upset. I'm pissed off.
People are yelling at him. People are yelling at Jen. People are, oh, Danielle, good job. And, everybody's picking on Jen. What's with the weird eye thing, Jen? And
if you had seen the real clips from the show that they didn't show,
you would have hated Dick. You would have got a bow and arrow and stood up
I
outside on the
disagree,
wall and,
but
like, shot him through the face.
Dick kept saying, nice weird eye thing, freak. Like, I don't know what the eye thing was, but it was funny because he was just like, nice eye thing.
I wouldn't have shot him over that, but let me tell you, he was really crossing the line when he was talking to Kail about how Jesus wouldn't abandon his friends and Jesus turned his back on her. And
no, that's not what he said at all.
What did he say?
He said, oh, you're a great example, you're a liar, blah, blah. He didn't mean, like, that all Christians are bad. He means that she's making us look like crap. And he's like, Jesus wouldn't sell out his friends and stuff.
I don't know, Maddie.
You're twisting it, you're twisting it.
I don't know, I heard what I heard, and I didn't like what I heard. Jen started in on Danielle.
She was like, oh, you're a cheat, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada.
You don't have any morals. Oh, that's the other voice, sorry.
So then Eric steps in.
I don't know where this came from.
I think he was just trying to,
deflect some attention away from him.
Get on Danielle's side.
Yeah.
So he's like, Jen, shut up. Why are you always talking about Danielle's personal life?
Let her hang in peace.
Yeah.
We wish.
That's funny.
Okay, so then Dick started talking about the iced tea after Jen fell off and was like, you deserve that, and this is your iced tea again, and I'm so glad I did that, and but, come on, Dick, stop being a dick.
So then it was down to Kail and Danielle. And Kail was like, Danielle, how much longer are you going to be up here? And she's like, I'll stay here till I die. And Kail was like, well, promise me that I won't go home. And she's like,
no.
Okay. And
no, she never promised.
Yes, she did.
Oh, she promised that she wouldn't go home.
And she's like,
she wouldn't
promise
put her
that
up.
you won't put me up. And she's like, no.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, well, promise me Jen won't go home. And she's like, no. So Kail's like, okay. Oh well.
That was ridiculous.
Good enough for me.
I hated when she won because she was just like, so, oh, I did this for Nick. Yeah, okay, we believe you. Okay, so right after the HOH competition, Dick goes over and gives Danielle a hug, and immediately they both start yakking about the second vote to keep in Nick. Thank you.
Danielle is upset because she's thinking, well, this person, if they would have told me that they were voting to keep him, we would have had 3 votes right there. Well, wait, they would have had 4, I mean.
Right.
So if they just had 1 more, they could have kept him.
Right.
So she's kind of TO'd about that.
She's TO'd, but she also has this vision in her head that they were trying to set her up. Yeah, these people aren't that smart.
Oh, man.
No. Sorry. Okay, so it's time for the HOH room. Lots and lots of pictures of my boyfriend. He must be so sick right now. He's probably throwing up in a Ziploc bag.
He's probably in denial. He's in denial.
I don't know. It's like that one who was on Flavor of Love and her boyfriend all over again. Bridget Nielsen.
Oh, Brigitte Nielsen
and Matty. It's like
Mateo.
That. Yeah, but she's got a tattooed tramp stamp on the back there, Matty.
They're still married.
I know. Well, I'm sure Danielle and her little boy toy will be married for a long time, maybe 6 months too. Okay, and Grandma was there. So Grandma was in the pictures, so of course Dick is crying like a little baby.
That's my mother.
I'm sure she's so proud of you too, Dick. I'm so sure. And if she is proud of you, I don't want to meet her.
So
everybody's starting to suspect Eric now because of D&D. They're feeding it around the house. After Dick and Eric are talking about it, Dick has this major freak out with himself on the patio.
He's like, I need a minute. So he goes in the patio and he's throwing crap.
He's pacing around like a caged lion. And yeah, he's throwing stuff around, he's smoking, he's talking, he's laughing to himself.
I know it!
What the hell was that, Dick? What were you doing?
He's bugging.
He's like working himself up to like explode. I don't know. And then after that,
it's time for America's Player.
That's right.
His challenge this week is America must decide who Eric should promise to take to the final 2.
Eric, I hope you make it past this week.
I know. And it's up to Eric to decide if this is for real or not.
Yes. Come on, everybody knows who Eric's taking to the final 2.
Jessica.
Jessica, you going to the final 2 with Eric?
Please vote for Jessica. Please vote for Jessica.
Please vote for Jessica. Please.
Please.
Okay.
I think we've already screwed him over enough by voting for Kail to leave. So
we didn't vote for Kail.
I know, but...
Alright.
Please.
Now, everybody's sitting... It's like they're at the beach or something. They're all sitting on the patio. That was the weirdest freaking scene I've ever seen. And they're all sitting there, and Dick has the hammock to himself, probably because he smells like feces. Because he's always farting. And he has a major freak out on Eric.
This was bigger than his
solitary confinement freak out. But he goes nuts. I thought he was going to pull out a gun and shoot Eric.
I know.
He got seriously out of control. They didn't show half of it as they did on the live feeds. I mean, it was about 20 minutes long on the live feeds.
They were both screaming at each other. It was out of control.
And then, yeah, Eric was like, "Don't you ever yell at me again, Dick." And he's just like, ha, ha, ha. So, come on. Well, it's time for the nomination. I mean, they must have really tried to tightly edit this because, not really,
like,
not the beginning. Yeah, I mean, they had so much that they could have shown, but they didn't. They showed so much boring HOH. Then they just cut right to the nomination ceremony. They didn't even have the gratuitary her looking at the memory wall thinking, let me take down this key. And
there's a lot to fit in.
It went right down to the nomination ceremony.
to cut things short, just like the show,
Yeah.
Jen and Kail were nominated for the 3rd week in a row. Dustin started clapping. Everyone started clapping.
That was so planned ahead of time. If you had
He was
seen the
talking
live
about it.
feeds.
He was like, I'm going to clap HOH. I mean...
Yeah. At the nomination ceremony.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dustin. You're a real spur-of-the-moment type guy. So spontaneous. Okay, so...
I'll see you tomorrow for the spoilers.
Much love.
Have you seen Snatch or Fight Club? Wow.